fellow Americans. I'm your news anchor Tam Nguyen, and alongside me is Jasmine Aguilar.
Hello, Tam. What a lovely day it is to be broadcasting from the JNAT news station. We would like to welcome citizens from across the world to our station.
Today, we bring you to the story of the Collins family, a married couple who have two sons but carry the desire to have a daughter someday. In 1966, a couple named Monique and Scott Collins were sent to visit a doctor at the Genetics and IVF Institute in Fairfax, Virginia. The family had heard about the possibility of ensuring the gender of their future baby. They had used pre-implementation genetic diagnosis, or PGD, a procedure used prior to implementation to identify genetic defects within embryos. Instead, they used this to find the child's gender. This became the first designer baby case. Through this, the newfound science became highly publicized. Coming straight to you, live from the GNAT News, we bring you the topic of designer babies.
Would you take the opportunity to choose your child's characteristics? Well, thanks to the constant evolution of science, this is now possible for future generations. On this segment, we will discuss the pros and cons, along with potential solutions that are wrought with the prospect of a genetically engineered child.
The term is designer babies. They are embryos that are genetically engineered in order to remove or add certain characteristics. They allow for the gender, athletic ability, and color of hair to be chosen by the parents. It all begins with the woman's embryo and injecting the CRISPR, a segment of DNA which contains short repetitions of base sequences into the woman. Once the injection is inserted, the egg is then divided and split into smaller particles, allowing them to become embryos.
After this stage is complete, the scientists will begin the removal of cells from each embryo, determining the genetic change. The unused embryos are then discarded or used for future research.
With the understanding of how designer babies are created, individuals can't help but wonder about the potential issues their decisions could bring them. According to an article written by professors at Arizona State University, designer babies would create even more inequality within the social class.
Because of the expensive price tag that comes along with it, only the wealthy would be available to this opportunity. The Connect Us article, written by Natalie Reggioli, states that by allowing this advancement of technology to become expanded, consumers reduce the diversity in humanity. By minimizing diversity, we bring about a bigger problem, that is disease. As we look at another downfall of designer babies, Frankenstein becomes an example.
By choosing the creature's characteristics, he was allowed to build him any way he wanted. This freedom led to Victor's worst nightmare, as his creation did not meet his expectations.
On the brighter side, there are positive outcomes that come from having a designer baby. As reported by the article Designer Babies, supporters of the newfound science believe that it can prevent future disorders in children. Studies prove that it will benefit society by bringing about a more advanced generation, with attributes that are more complex than what the average human has.
Designer babies hold a place in time as it has a promising future for scientific research, but in the end remains a question of ethicality. Well folks, that is it for tonight's program. Thank you all for watching, and it's goodbye from JNAT.